So, my husband Marcus is basically the personification of a golden retriever human. He's kind, a little goofy, and absolutely terrible at keeping secrets. Or so I thought. We've been married for 7 years, and with two toddlers running around, our house usually feels like a chaotic fever dream of goldfish crackers and Disney soundtracks. By the time 8 o'clock hits, we're both usually zombies. But about a month ago, Marcus started acting weird. He told me he needed project time. Every single night from 8 to 9, he'd disappear into the garage. He told me, "Babe, please, just don't come in there. I really need to decompress and work on some guy stuff." Naturally, my brain went to the worst places. Is he hiding a smoking habit? Is he secretly building a doomsday bunker? Is he gaming without me? I felt a little pushed out, honestly. Like we finally have an hour of peace and you want to spend it away from me in a cold garage? Then, last Tuesday, I was looking for the extra paper towels we keep on the high shelf in the laundry room. I accidentally knocked over a shopping bag from a high-end leather craft store. Inside were scraps of Italian leather, heavy-duty needles, and a spool of thick waxed thread. Marcus doesn't know a thing about leather. He's a software engineer. He gets a paper cut just looking at a printer. I started getting really suspicious. Was he starting a secret business? Was he making a holster? What was going on? That night, I did something I'm not proud of. I used the Find My app to see where he'd been during his lunch breaks. Every day for the last 2 weeks, a tiny hole-in-the-wall shoe repair shop downtown. I was so confused. Well, last night, the mystery finally broke. I went out to the garage to throw away some recycling, and the door was slightly ajar. I peeked through the crack, and there he was. Marcus was hunched over the workbench, wearing these ridiculous magnifying goggles. He had a YouTube tutorial playing on his laptop, some old guy with a thick Italian accent explaining how to saddle stitch. He was working on a pair of my favorite boots. These boots are ancient. I bought them in London on our honeymoon. They're gorgeous, but the soles were literally falling off, and the leather was cracked. Every cobbler I took them to said they were beyond repair, and told me to just toss them. I was heartbroken because they were my one special thing from that trip. I watched him for 20 minutes. I watched him prick his finger, hiss in pain, and then immediately go back to meticulously stitching the leather. He was muttering to himself, saying, "Okay, Marcus, over, under, pull. She's gonna be so happy." He wasn't just fixing them, he was restoring them. He'd spent his entire lunch hour every day for weeks, learning from a master cobbler, just so he could surprise me for our anniversary next week. He sacrificed his only hour of sleep, his hands are covered in tiny cuts, and he's probably spent a fortune on tools he'll never use again, all because he remembered how much I loved those stupid broken boots. I crept back into the house and sat on the couch, and honestly, I started crying. He came inside at exactly 9 o'clock, smelling like leather glue and looking exhausted, but he had the biggest, most innocent smile on his face. He kissed my forehead and asked how my night was. I didn't say a word about the garage. I'm going to let him surprise me next week. I'm going to act like I haven't seen the blood, sweat, and YouTube tutorials that went into those shoes. Because the boots are great, don't get me wrong, but knowing that my husband spent a month of his life becoming a secret shoemaker just to see me smile, that's the real gift. I think I'll keep him.